So the DA's Leon Schreiber, who happens to be the Minister of Home Affairs, has issued out an immigration directive to extend the Zimbabwean Exemption Permit that is popularly known as ZEP. As you all know, that the ZEP was supposed to come to an end on the 28th of November this year. He extended it to expire on the 28th of May 2027. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the Cafe. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Please do make sure you subscribe, you like this video, it helps a lot, and please do comment down below with your own thoughts. Without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. So 178,000 Zimbabweans who are holding this ZEP are rejoicing out there because obviously our useless Minister of Home Affairs decided to extend this ZEP. I do not know what are the importance of ZEP, and I don't know how does it help us as South Africans, or how does it help Zimbabweans with holding these ZEP. First of all, there is no war in Zimbabwe. There is no war. There is no political unrest. There is just nothing. Zimbabwe is as quiet as ever. It is safe. It's quiet. There's no commotion that is going on. So why are Zimbabweans having these ZEPs? Why do we have to extend ZEPs in South Africa time and again? As I said, ZEP was supposed to come to an end this year in November, and they decided to extend it. And it has been extended before for so many times. Even the court ruled that cancelling the ZEP is unconstitutional, which I don't understand. Why do we have ZEP in the first place? Why? Why do we have ZEP? So I'm just going to quickly read through the ZEP holders, their protection. What are they protected? What is this ZEP protecting them from? Protection from deportation. Holders cannot be arrested, detained, or deported for lacking a valid exemption certificate. Okay? Entry and exit flexibility. ZEP holders may enter and depart South Africa under certain conditions, under certain conditions while complying with other entry requirements. Simplified application process. When applying for other visas or temporary permits, holders are not required to produce a valid exemption certificate. This is lawlessness. Listen to this one. Simplified application process. When applying for other visas or temporary permits, holders are not required to produce a valid exemption certificate. This is lawlessness to the highest level. So they can apply without that exemption certificate. They can just say, okay, my name is Success, my name is Marvelous, and I have a ZEP, but I don't have, obviously, the exemption certificate. I don't have it with me or whatever. They can do that. They can do whatever they want. It looks like it. So obviously, these people are allowed to work in South Africa. These people are allowed to benefit in South Africa, to benefit and get everything in South Africa, while their country is not in some type of war. And also on top of that, they are allowed to come in and out of the country, but they have a special permit in South Africa. How is this possible? I still cannot figure it out. How did we get here as a country? And now, obviously, we all know this is not a surprise. Trust me, I'm not surprised that this minister who's from the DA, I'm so glad. One time on the comment sections, I talked about how I don't associate myself with any political party because I would find it difficult for me to actually talk about these political parties if I am associated with a certain political party or I'm in love with a certain political party. Now it's chai for the DA. I'm going to talk about it now. We all know that the DA stands when it comes to immigration. They want this illegal immigration in the country. And we all know that the DA is also full of, firstly, white people, middle class as well, middle class black people, who obviously can afford to have domestic workers, gardeners, and all of those things. And what they do, they hire these illegal immigrants, mistreat them, or underpay them, and all of those things. And these illegal immigrants are not going to complain. And that's why the DA love these illegal immigrants to the T. They love them, and they never want to involve themselves in anything that has to do with the Operation Dudula. You all know that Helen Zille did say that Operation Dudula must be stopped immediately. She said that the Operation Dudula people must be arrested because they are creating lawlessness in the country. While their DA minister, who happens to be the Minister of Home Affairs, is also perpetuating and making sure that the lawlessness in this country prevails through immigration, through uncontrolled immigration. And that is what is happening here. What did he do that will make South Africans happy apart from making South Africans even angrier? I just want to say something about this. Remember that on Friday, the Operation Dudula March and March and their leaders will be appearing in court in Durban, KZN, right? And obviously regarding the stopping of the illegal immigrants from accessing the healthcare facilities in South Africa, which I don't blame them, obviously. And I think they were not doing it right. This is what they must do now, since the SAHRC is after them. This is what they must do. Section 42 of South African Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977 says, grants private citizens the power to make an arrest without a warrant under a specific condition, such as when they witness or have a reasonable suspicion that a person has committed an offense, is attempting to commit an offense, or is escaping from lawful custody. So, the Operation Dudula, as South African community members, as citizens of this country, like me and you, they have the right to apprehend you as an illegal immigrant because you have already broken the law by coming into the country illegally. So let's go to the Section 42 of 1977. It's fine. We understand that one. We understand that we have the right as South Africans to do it. If the actual people, the actual SAHRC is unable to fight for us, we have to fight for ourselves. I hope you're still with me. Another one here says the Immigration Act contains provisions that might require hospitals to report undocumented individuals. Might. Okay, cool, might. The contradiction in this whole thing on my side, I'm just like, I do not like our constitution. A lot of it is just bullshit. But unfortunately, even though it says that the Immigration Act might say that the doctors or the nurses or the healthcare workers should report illegal immigrants, the National Health Act and the South African Human Rights Commission the devil in this whole thing, emphasizes non-discriminatory access to healthcare services and the ethical duties of health professionals. These are the ethical duties of health professionals. Professional ethics and human rights principles for health professionals advise against reporting undocumented immigrants and stress the importance of patient confidentiality. Patient confidentiality with someone who is illegally. So that means the Immigration Act is null and void. The doctors and the nurses cannot do anything. They cannot report this criminal activity because they have signed, or they said it is their obligation to assist each and everyone without them saying anything to the police. That's what they are saying. And another one says, Physicians for Human Rights recommends that health professionals should not report patients with irregular status of authority. We already established that they cannot do that. So a lot of people says that we must uphold the law and all of those things. I can tell you that if the youth of 1977 listened to that nonsense, we wouldn't be here now. We would still be under apartheid. If the youth of 1977 didn't break the law, because at that time, apartheid was law. It was a legal thing that was happening in South Africa. But South Africans that fought for this country said, no, we do not agree with it. So people who are judging the Operation Dudula and March regarding what they are doing right now, you must be ashamed of yourselves, because the Operation Dudula is fighting the same fight that we were fighting before. It's just a different fight. It's just a different room, different meaning. There's a different meaning, but they're still fighting for who? For the South Africans. It is illegal to stop people from entering the hospitals. But it is Operation Dudula's right to arrest them. And it is Operation Dudula's right to protest against the government, against the laws that we have in this country. It is their legal rights. Like it was not their right, actually. In 1977, the 1977 youth was not supposed to protest because the law was not allowing them to do so. But they did not stop. They did it. So if you are South Africans and you don't like what is going on here, I'm telling you right now, go for it. Go for it. Challenge these laws that are making this country to be lawlessness. Because you just had here, holders are not required to produce a valid exemption certificate. What? Excuse me? They must just enjoy life. Excuse me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching till this far. Please do me a favor, subscribe, like this video, and comment down below with your own thoughts. I'll see you on my next upload. Have a fantastic one. Peace.